Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Freedman, and our next guest on the show is Arun Seelam, co-founder of Boson Motors. Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So always wonderful to have engineers who have developed products on our show, and it looks to me anyways, like you're in your shop, so to speak, and
yes.
Probably somebody who's tinkering most of the day. Tell us a little bit about your company and what it is that you guys do.
We are Boson Motors. We help farmers save money on labor expenses through our automated vehicles. So Boson makes electric vehicle batteries and software that is primarily designed for off-road utility vehicles used by farmers and ranchers across the country.
And by automating processes and cutting down on labor, so those vehicles would actually do the picking and planting and various activities that that labor would traditionally do, or what?
That is the ultimate goal, to do more activities. But immediately we are starting with one simple activity, which is helping in fruit picking. So traditionally there were two people operating the fruit picking operation, where one person is driving the truck and the other one is picking fruit. We want to help farmers eliminate one chore out of it by just having the truck follow them while they pick the fruit. Okay. So right now we design simple automations like that.
So a self-driving vehicle, so to speak, that that would follow a predetermined path, or perhaps you have technology built in to keep them from bumping into the trees, but actually moving around the trees.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the background. How did you come up with the idea, and what's the concept? Where did this come to you in the night? You're an engineer by training, so tell us how you came around to this.
My co-founder and I, Suri Bhupatiraju, and I were engineers at Google. During our lunch breaks, we would always talk about how this vehicle sucks and how these guys are not doing it right. And we grossly underestimated the complexity involved in designing vehicles, and naively decided there is a room for improvement. And also we came from fundamentally a software background. So during the transition from gas vehicles to electric vehicles, we saw that software is going to be a critical component of future generation vehicles. So we decided that that would be a great opportunity to invest our careers in, and started developing vehicle software. And during the course of time, we ended up creating an entire truck that would help farmers, primarily to help us sell the software to farmers.
So was your preliminary thinking that it would service the agricultural marketplace? Was that the intent originally, or was that something that evolved over time?
The original intent was to build a bus with software to help people commute. But when we started making it in a garage, we obviously needed a larger garage. So we decided to scale it down and do a motorcycle instead. And then we wanted to test the motorcycle engine while we were developing the motorcycle. So we put that on a truck, because a small business came and asked us if they wanted to deliver groceries to electric vehicles. So we said, all right, take our motorcycle engine, and we put it in a little truck. Turns out the truck is actually what people need a lot, and where it can actually create a huge difference today. So that's what we ended up with this.
And so you said you're primarily a software development company, but also a vehicle, retrofitting an existing chassis for an electric vehicle. Are you also producing the engines, or is it really the software-based company?
We make the engine. In fact, we make the battery pack and the software. The rest of the components are fairly off the shelf. And our solution has been on road testing since December 2018. We have been certified in India for roadworthiness. So it's a fairly strong and reliable product.
And when you talk about roadworthiness, in an agricultural, do you have to meet the same guidelines and functionality that a roadworthy vehicle would if it's used in strictly an agricultural off-road application? Are the standards the same?
In fact, the agricultural standards are a little lax than what roadworthy vehicles need. In agriculture, as long as you don't pollute the air, you're fine. right? That's the level of regulation. But in roadworthy vehicles, you have to meet certain safety standards, noise standards, indicators, all the regular stuff.
And you are truly a global company. You talked a little bit before you came on the segment that you have some deployments in California
Yes,
currently. And am I correct in understanding that you have some in India as well?
yes, yes.
So truly a global enterprise. And are those the two markets where you're going to be focusing for preliminary or the initial launches of your vehicles will be in the US and in India?
Well, our main focus is California market, and then subsequently Texas and other large agricultural orchard states. India is, we are selectively giving vehicles to people whom we know, like friends and partners, but that's not the focus area for us immediately. Maybe going forward in a few years, we might open up in India.
So they're your beta, but the concern is it's such a, I would imagine, an enormous market and a diverse market that it comes with its own set of challenges.
Exactly, exactly. So we are beta testing it in India and focusing the product for actual deployment in US.
And your production is in the US?
Yes, we are actually making 15 units as we speak in this place. We already produced one. We have the parts to do the 14.
Oh, well, fabulous. And tell us the model currently is direct to consumer or direct to end user. Is that what the current business model is?
The current business model is we don't have an actual vehicle chassis with us yet. We only develop the powertrain, the battery, and the software solution. So the dealer we are working with is providing us the chassis, and we are fitting it with our Boson powertrain and software stack. Going forward, the vision is to have a full stack vehicle made by us and given as a white label to either directly to consumers or to other OEMs.
And help us understand a little bit about the business model from the consumer standpoint. They're purchasing obviously the vehicle. Are they purchasing a software subscription to go along with it to be able to run the vehicle, or is that a one-time license? How does that work?
Right now, the vehicle they purchase upfront, and the software, if they want to use the automations, they simply purchase it whenever they want to use it.
And that automation is ongoing, and you guys as a company will provide updates as they become available or necessary.
Yes.
But it's a one-time purchase.
Monthly purchase. I mean, because especially this software is not useful throughout the year. They use it mostly during the harvest season. So farmers can choose to purchase on the months when they actually use the harvest, use it to run the harvest, and the other months they don't have to.
Oh, excellent. So it's really a cycle sort of
Yeah.
subscription that works with their busy season. No need to incur expenses when they have downtime.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, it works out for us because across the globe, there is always a harvest season somewhere. So we will continuously provide the same level of service and updates.
So one of the things we love to do on Radio Entrepreneurs, Arun, is talk with people such as yourselves who, in your particular case, worked for a huge global multinational, and then took the proverbial plunge to become an entrepreneur. Tell us about some of the lessons you've learned along the way, and maybe if you had hindsight, you started the company 2016, 2017. You're about 4 or 5 years in.
Yeah, we started working on it in 2016 and actually incorporated in 2017.
So you're several years in. What are some of the, I wish I'd known now what I, wish I knew then what I know now, or some of the surprises that you met along the way as an entrepreneur?
The first one would be find a way to make money. It might be a very simple thing to say out loud, but it turns out that it's not that simple. The first and foremost focus of any business should be how to make money and how to create value for the customers, not building the company and figuring out the product. There is this cargo cult story that it's quite popular. So that would be a great analogy for many startups that I see, and at some point we were.
So I imagine you guys raised some capital to be able to develop, and again, because you're talking about I would imagine even securing a chassis is not an inexpensive proposition. And
Yes.
so forget about all the development that you guys have to do, but even to retrofit into an OEM product is got to be an expensive proposition. So when you say making money, is that also providing enough of a runway and recognizing the capital needs that you have? Has that been an evolving process for you?
So one of the greatest advice I've ever received from a highly successful entrepreneur is that business is a tolerance function. So if you keep extending a runway, having a long runway, at some point you will fit the right product market and make a lot of money. Until then, just run a frugal shop, survive, and find the right customer market fit, and then make money.
Absolutely, good advice. So you're currently in the process of building 15 vehicles, and those you anticipate being out in the market. What's the time frame? What does it take in your shop? All of that is done internally. You're building from the ground up internally.
So the one behind me is the vehicle that the white color one.
Yep.
Is the vehicle that actually we assemble. So the bodies come here from Southern California. As behind me is our little battery assembly line where we are assembling the systems. Once the system is ready, we fit it in a truck, then take it for our standard test and deliver it to the customer. So we have done this one, and in March we will do 2 more. By April, May, we will have finished out all the rollouts.
So you're building them at a rate of 1 to 2 a week. Is that the correct math?
1 a week at
one a week. That's pretty impressive for a relatively small team, I would imagine at this point.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
And the vision is to ramp up production as you can build demand for it.
Yes, I mean, we are looking forward to move out to Austin and start ramping up production there. So the California facility is like a test facility producing low volume and understanding the logistics.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like an exciting ride, and we look forward to having you back on and learning about launch and how that's going.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Our guest on Radio Entrepreneurs has been Arun Seelam, co-founder of Boson Motors. Arun, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
The best way
more about your products.
The best way is my email. It's ARUN at Boson Motors, BOSONMOTORS.com. I respond very fast on email, so please feel free to email me with anything.
Excellent. As I said, our guest in this segment has been Arun Seelam, co-founder of Boson Motors, and looking to revolutionize the agricultural industry and how harvesting is done. And we didn't really get into it, but I expect in a very sustainable way. So wishing you the best of luck. And we will be right back with another segment on Radio Entrepreneurs.